Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. Now, when it comes to the children of Israel, is one key factor that people glance over and look over, and they don't take into consideration just one simple fact. Now, when you go to Hosea chapter 3, verse 4 and 5, it says, "For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king, and without a prince, and without a sacrifice, and without an image, and without an ephod, and without a teraphim. Afterwards," verse 5, "afterwards shall the children of Israel return, and seek the Lord their God, and David their king, and shall fear the Lord and his goodness in the last days." So the children of Israel, they don't have a king ruling over them. And so when you look on the earth, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they don't have a king ruling over them. The king that's ruling over the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans is Donald Trump. On the left here, you see the guy in Israel. He's ruling over America and using Donald Trump as a puppet. So he's one of the rulers of America. You see, France president, he's an Edomite. You see some Arabs, you see some Ishmaelites, you see some Moab, North Korea. You got all of these people that has kings, these nations that has a king over them. But the only nation that does not have a king is the children of Israel. And when you go into these powerful people, they have much riches, but the main part is that they have power. And the power that they have is something that the children of Israel do not have. Now, it's billionaires in the population of the children of Israel, but they are not the king. They have somebody ruling over them, and that can take all of their riches as a blink of an eye, and that can throw them in prison and take all of their money. You see, they have somebody ruling over them. They have a king over them, and it's not a part of their nation. But when you look at all these other people or nations on the earth, there's 18 nations on the earth or in existence. And when you look at all of these 18 nations, they have a king ruling over them. And most of them are part of the UN, the United Nations. And it's one nation that don't have a seat in the United Nations. And that's the children of Israel. The Native Americans don't have a seat on the United Nations. The descendants of slaves, blacks in America and scattered abroad and in the islands, they don't have a seat in the United Nations. The Hispanics in the South America and all of those Hispanic nations or Hispanic populations don't have a seat in the United Nations. Only the other nations have a seat on the United Nations. And so that's what people can use to see clearly who is the children of Israel. And you can see how these religions are set up to keep the children of Israel blind, where they don't know who they are. It's hard for them to identify who they are. If you tell them, you're a child of Israel, how do you know this, man? They'll try to tell you they're a Gentile, they're a heathen, when they don't understand that the heathen was supposed to rule until Yahushua came. When you go to Luke 21, Yahushua told you clearly what would happen with the heathens, what the heathens would be doing in the last days. The heathens would be ruling in the last days. You see, they would be ruling, and the children of Israel would be in captivity. Now, when you go to Luke 21:24, it says, they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captives into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Jump down to 27, and he tells you that while all of that is going on, the Gentiles is trodden down Jerusalem, the land and the people. 27 says, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud or a chariot with power and great glory. And then 28 he said, and when these things begin to come to pass, then look up, you children of Israel, and lift up your heads, for your redemption is nigh. Why are they going to have redemption? Because the Gentiles and the so-called heathens, the other 18 nations, have a king, and they're ruling over the children of Israel who were scattered into their land. And their land, Jerusalem, have Gentiles in that land. So they don't have a land, they don't have a king, and they're slaves in all the nations. And they're going to have redemption when Christ, who they call Christ, but whose name is Yahushua in the Hebrew, when he come and save them and live out the destiny of his name, that he delivers or he saves. He's coming to save his people. And so the identifying mark is that the children of Israel don't have a king. Now when you go to Micah reiterate that statement. In Micah chapter 4 verse 9, it says, why do you cry out loud? Is there no king in you? Is your counselor perished? For pains have taken you as a woman in travail. So the children of Israel, it's no king in them. They have no king. They have no counselor. You see, their counselor has died and went to the right hand of God. And we waiting on him to return. And that's why we seeing all these birth pains. But that's the point I want to bring out about the children of Israel not having a king. And when you look at the world situation, they're under a king who's controlling Babylon the Great, Donald Trump, and they have billionaires in the population, millionaires, but they have to obey the king. When he shuts down the kingdom, like he has done right now, those Israelites don't have no say so. Their business is shut down, their money is stopped, and they under the orders of the king. So just wanted to bring that out. All praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rekaka Dash. Double honors to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide. Death to America, death to these red dragons. Shalom.